try to stop?
La Llorona.
La Llorona is a very old story, and finally someone is doing this, and someone doing it with the expertise that James Wan and Michael, I mean, these guys, they're wizards of the genre.
To bring La Llorona to the screen, you know, if we're gonna do this, we have to do this right.
It's not just a ghost story, it's a tradition. And so that tradition is something that we take very seriously, and we realize like what an incredible privilege it is to bring this story to the world.
You know, the story of La Llorona is something that we grow up with. The story of this woman that had really beautiful looks and found this man who then ends up leaving her. And in her desperation, she drowns her kids in the river. By the time she realizes it's too late and she can't save them.
Because of what she did, she's condemned to wander the earth in search of other people's children that she tries to replace her loss with.
Children are told to behave. Listen to their elders, or La Llorona will come, steal them away.
My first impression of the script was terrifying. I found myself reading it at home, and once I would put it away, I found myself very spooked and been a little bit scared to go to sleep at night.
The script was a great read from right off the bat. Ready, and umbrella. There was already these great signature scenes in it. And I think that that's what made it so exciting.
What really got to me from the script is that it was not only very nicely written, but it was very respectful of the Hispanic side in terms of what La Llorona is, her story. And that really impressed me because we're so used to stories that are inspired on something, but in a way it's almost cliche. And this does not feel cliche at all.
So from the director to the producers to the writers, everyone is on the same page. We want people to look at this and understand that this is real.
Michael Schaubs did a lot of research to try to really get as much authenticity as we could. He seemed to be a big fan of it even before he was on board.
Michael's enthusiasm is infectious.
High five. High five. High five. Yeah, that was it.
I remember the first day we worked together, every time we went from the trailer to the set, he wanted to run. So we were just running back, literally running back and forth. I was like, okay, this is what's gonna be great. This is gonna keep the energy up.
Action!
He's adding a lot of stuff that we wouldn't normally get.
Like, you get in there and you spin around and you're like looking in there because you know it's coming. It's coming from over there, okay? So yeah, just make it a quick spin, okay? She's coming to get you.
You know, it's in his mind. Oh, we need this. We need just to cross. I mean, I watched some of the takes and I'm like, oh my God, it's beautiful.
Raped on her? Yeah, you don't see what it is. Raped on her, right? So you can imagine the tensions of the kids coming out from underneath, showing their POV slowly revealing this thing standing above them.
I've been a fan of James Wan for years, and to be able to work with him and collaborate with him was incredible.
Raphael comes out, grabs his leg, and then we like pan up, tilt up, and then my is there right on the threshold. We're like holding him, like pops open the vial, splashes in her face. She's like, yeah! Very cool. Yeah, that's where it goes. Cool.
And then on set, he brings an incredible energy. He's really positive.
So when she does that, you want to spread the sheet out.
He had such great, simple insights about, little ways to extend tension, to tighten up a scare. Always very targeted, always very specific.
A few years ago, I placed little stock in legends, myths, or things that go bump in the night. But then there was an incident with a doll.
So this was always designed to be a secret tie-in to the Conjuring universe. And the idea is Father Perez, at this point in the timeline, he has survived his experience with Annabelle, and he is now a changed man. He is a believer in the supernatural. And so when Anna comes to him with questions about La Llorona, he is already a believer.
Yeah. It has seen me through many dark nights. May it do the same for you. They managed to find my rosary. The rosary I used in Annabelle. And, for actors, it's really sort of an important thing in the sense that you endow things with something. And so to have this, it sort of made me feel more like Padre Perez. And I appreciated the fact that they searched for it and found it. And in this film, I give it to someone else. So by the end of this film, someone else will have this. And so it was great. It was like stepping into an evolving world.
If you've come just to go get my shot, I have more important things to do.
You know what? I don't think that we're in the right spot. I'm sorry. Come on, guys.
You've seen this before, haven't you?
Yes.
What is it?
Linda plays Anna in the film, and in the story, we always wanted an outsider. We always wanted someone who had not grown up with the myth.
The church can help you.
No, please. The church sent us here to you.
So they're coming at it from a place of discovery.
What is that?
The tears of La Llorona have sanctified them.
Why?
Anti-venom.
One of the most important additions to the cast was Raymond Cruz, casting him as the curandero. You know, it was really important that he would bring a sense of authenticity to the role so that we believe what he believes.
It was an extreme amount of research and reading and learning about the practices and the beliefs. Watch the flames. The steady flame tells us that our protective charms are working.
As we were researching the film, we met with a lot of curanderos, and they told us their versions of the legend and how you would deal with La Llorona.
So we're in the curandero's back room. We went to about 10 curandero shops here in Los Angeles, did some research. You know, and then separate from the curandero aspect, we want to bring the characters back here because they're really in trouble. So this is where he keeps the really hardcore evil fighting stuff. It's that world. It's the special things.
I handle so many props in this movie, but we're very specific about what each prop is used for and how it's used, especially the spiritual props like the Bible, the cross, the rosary, the holy water. And when we use the curanderos accoutrements like the sage and the palo santo, how we use it, it's very specific and it has to be right.
In all our Hispanic countries, we grew up in very Catholic religion, but we've always had curanderos. Every time there is a desperate situation, whether it's for something good or whether it's because someone's sickness or, you know, you go pray, but you always go to the curandero.
Creator asked for permission to be able to perform this energy cleanse.
There was a very nice curandero that came by to clean the set.
The experience was really humbling, just how it affected everyone on set. La Llorona is a watered spirit, and so whether it be drips or reflections in water, that was going to be a recurring theme through the whole film. And sometimes it plays out in scares, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's a way of painting a character in a different light. We're seeing the reflection instead of actually seeing them. We had mirrors throughout the film. But then there's also just within the story itself, you have people mirroring each other. You have mothers mirroring each other, where Anna is a mirror of Patricia, and even La Llorona herself was once a mother. So we try to explore that in all these different respects, and we build that kind of mirror idea throughout the film to the end in the attic, where there is a really fun payoff to that. Crystal La Llorona is set in 1973. We wanted to really capture the period, and we found a great house to shoot in.
It's early 20th century, and I was drawn to it partially for the period because it felt like a kind of golden, earthy tone that is reminiscent of the early and mid-70s. It's something that can feel very homey, but at the same time, it can get a little creepy, which is nice, you know, squeaky doors, stuff like that.
We shot in the bottom floor, and the top floor was occupied by 3 students who were going to USC. And we are pretty convinced, and we were told by the owner, that the house is haunted. I thought it was totally a joke, but so many people had so many odd occurrences in there. So, yeah.
Ready, and look down. And up!
It's been really fun for me to be able to work with everybody on the team. You know, I think if anybody's going to do horror, these are the people to do it with.
It's just been exquisite.
I think we have something really special.
I grew up watching New Line horror movies. To work with them is one of the most amazing experiences of my life.